Hi everyone, it's Jeanette Bell, your instructor for History 105, and I have some comments about Lesson 1. First of all, you finished up Lesson 1. Yay! Okay. Hopefully you're getting into your routine and things are getting settled, and you're just figuring out when you need to get online and when to turn in your items, your assignments and stuff like that. So, alright, first of all, you have got to get under your belt the 4-part definition of complex society. Do me a favor and don't Google it and then try to copy and paste what you find online. Everything is geared to be found in your textbook, okay? So please do not use Google to find a definition for complex society. Stick with what your textbook says, okay? All right. Here are some of the elements or components of the definition according to your textbook. First of all, there is a form of large-scale social organization in which productive agricultural economies produce surplus food. Okay, it's that surplus food that's really important. That surplus food then allows people to specialize in tasks and to congregate in urban settlements. Population is going to grow, okay? Those specialized tasks are things like artisans, ritual specialists like priests, kings, okay, traders. That can't happen unless there's enough food. So what happens is after people realize that they can grow food or they can farm food, for instance, cows and sheep, they kind of let that, they give that job over to the farmers, to the agriculturalists. What can they do then? Well, I teach, okay? I allow the farmers in the United States to grow my food for me. And then I go down to a grocery store and I buy it. This is a complex society. This is what happens in a complex society. It is, and the current scholarly ideas, that is the first thing that happens, is that we have agriculturalists who create a surplus of food. Another thing, they have political authorities, government institutions who collect the surplus agricultural products in the form of taxes or tribute. This is called redistributing wealth, okay? How do I pay for my groceries? I get paid for teaching, that's the exchange, and then I am able to go buy my food. Well, back way when, it was more of a barter system, okay, where food was the first currency, if you will, all right? And this allowed governments to be the authority for collecting the food. The governments could be religiously based, like in Mesopotamia. The temple was the center of the city, and it was the most important institute of that city. They trade with others. Sometimes this trade's been going on, though, way before complex societies were around. We know this from Otzi, the Iceman. He is definitely a hunter-gatherer, but he had items on him that were not from his local region. Where did he get those? Well, he traded. Okay, trade's been going on for millennia. All right, it's just something that humans like to do. They trade ideas, they trade goods, they trade people. Some of these rendezvous or get-togethers were times when marriages were made, because it's a good idea not to marry inside your own family. Okay. All right. They also have art, religion, and language. They do not have to have writing. A lot of you wrote that down in your quiz. They do not have to have writing. Of course, they have to have language so they can communicate amongst each other. They also have social and gender-based hierarchies. Social, rank, okay? I'm a king, I'm higher than the peasant. Or gender, I'm a woman, I have certain roles that the society has agreed that I as a woman perform, okay? Certain tasks, all right? That's what that's all about. What else do I need to tell you about? Oh, again, please make sure that you read or watch the video announcements, the discussion comments, and the grade comments. This is going to help you by anchoring in ideas, keeping you up to date with what's going on, and give you ideas of what needs to be tweaked or what you really did fantastic that week, okay? For instance, some of you have emailed me wanting me to check the quiz because you misspelled a word and Blackboard counted it as incorrect. Well, if you had read the announcement, then you would know that I manually grade all quizzes and exams anyway. Blackboard will indeed count your answer as incorrect if you misspell it or don't capitalize it like you're supposed to. Okay, Blackboard does other funny things with the grades, so it's just easier on me and on everybody else if I manually grade them. And you would have known that had you read the announcement. All right, so you don't need to tell me or ask me to please check your quiz. I'm going to do it. If you have a question about why the quiz was counted the way it was, for instance, I think it's in the next week's quiz, people get confused between what's the difference between a slave and a laborer or labor worker or something like that. I'm going to give you a hint. Slaves did not build the pyramid. Okay, so there's the answer to that question. Then go ahead and email me if you have a question. Just keep in mind that I'm not online on weekends and on holidays, but I will do my very best to get back with you as quickly as I can, even if it's to let you know that I'm looking into the matter. Okay? All right, so that's all for now. We've had a great first week. Let's keep it up.